and welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa, and I'd like to welcome you out on another foraging adventure to where I'm going to show y'all how to make your own elderberry cuttings. No, it is not hard. It is very simple, and as long as you are taught correctly, you can do your own elderberry cuttings, because these people are charging and companies are charging way too much for these elderberry plants, and it's a shame because they know people are trying to make medicine to stay well, and all they see is those dollar signs, and that's corruption right there. I'm sorry, it irks me to no end. Off my soapbox. So I've already made my offerings, because yes, I make offerings before I harvest plants. I don't always show it because that's something private between me and what I'm harvesting. You need a good set of clippers, and down here, let's see if I can get it down here. I have 2 pots of moist sand. Alright, let's go over here and find our first elderberry plant that's going to go home with me. So this one looks really good right here. It's alive and active. You want to cut it down as close as you can. Fight the god-awful privet hedges. Alright, let me focus the camera down. Okay, here's your cut end. On this one, I'm going to cut it right above these leaves. Now, let me set this right here. You see all these little bumps? All those little bumps is where roots will come out. Take your bucket of wet sand, push that baby in. Make sure it's good and snug. 1 elderberry clipping or cutting. Here's another one. I'm going to gently go above those leaves. Yep, I knew it was going to fall off. But it'll, believe it or not, it'll shoot out another set of leaves. But yep, there's your cutting. Stick it down in the sand. Cut it. Stick it down in the sand. Cut. Stick down in the sand. Now, as long as the stem part from one segment to the other is a long one, you only need to do 1. Here's a good one here. And see, that's the top from the, it's the bottom of your cutting, but that's from the last piece, and there's your top. Now, thankfully, all these were long ones, so I didn't have to do a 2-segment one. Alright, from that one branch, I got 8, yes, I said 8 elderberry plants. some of the companies I've seen selling them, guess what? That would have been $200 worth of elderberry plants. Now you see why I'm saying they should be ashamed of themselves. Okay, let's find another one. I'm trying to find the ones that are towards the back in the shade that won't have a chance to actually make elderberries because they'll be too shaded. Okay, now here's a bigger one with a lot of different limbs on it. But down here, you can also make cuttings from the bigger stems, even though they don't have leaves on them yet. They will be. Alright, there's where the bottom is that I cut it. I'm going to cut it just above this one. And there's one. There's two. Let me get these in the sand. Okay. I'm going to plant this one here in a bit. Let's work on this stem. Okay. I'm going to cut this one. Let me make sure y'all can see it. Cut it right there right where it forks. And then I'm going to cut it. See how it forked? One stem went that way, one stem's going this way. I'm leaving the leaves on this piece. And I'm going to clip it right above those leaves, I mean. And there's a 2-segment cutting. You start doing that when, ooh, that one's got some other stuff on it. That can stay. I'm going to remove this set of leaves there and leave these 2 sets of leaves here because that's long enough for cutting. And as you can see, it's 1 segment, 2 segments. You can still make cuttings there. If you really wanted to push it, and I don't like doing them that small, you could make 2 cuttings there. And all you do is make sure you get them deep in that sand. This one looks a little rough, but I said we're going to go down here. I'm making a baby cutting, not that I really like to. And see how this one is kind of messed up? I'm going to clip it right there. Not quite. I don't really like to do little cuttings, but sometimes you can't help it. But you know what? They're still going to root. Stick them in the sand. Now, when you're doing younger, tender cuttings, when you get closer to the tip, you got to be careful about putting them in the sand because you don't want to bend or crush the stem. Okay, here's another one. I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it right here above the leaves. I'm leaving this part of the leaves on. Into the sand it goes. And see how this one is kind of messed up? This is the bottom, this is the top. Since this top piece is dead, I'm gonna go in and cut it. I cut the dead piece off, and I'm gonna have some really nice branches coming off of this one. And like I said, see all those little bumps? That is where roots will come out. Now, like I always tell everybody, harvest responsibly. Don't just strip one patch out. That one don't look good. This one looks good. I'm gonna cut that one off because it don't look good. But see, yep, that's going in the bucket with wet sand. And see where it forks. Going to cut this one. Going to cut this one off. And that one's had it rough there. I'm going to cut this limb off. This limb off. I'm going to leave that leaf on that one. Okay. We're going to set these little ones down. And we're going to work on this big one. Now I could easily make one cutting here, but I'm not. I'm going to cut it right here. There's a reason behind it. Now it'll shoot out probably some more leaves on from above this branch. This branch is looking a little green, so it might shoot one out. But see right here where this fork's at? There's a little one. I'm sorry, you might not can see it. There's a little one coming out here, and you got these leaves. So I'm going to leave that as a 2 segment. Now you want to make sure that your sand's good and moistened, but drained. Now you see how this limb is dead? Just snip it off. This one I'm going to leave the 3 nodes on it, the 3 leaves. And see this one, when it roots, it's going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll probably, there's another one, 5. Here's some more trying to pop back out. That segment is dead. So, into the sand it goes. Now, like I was saying, harvest responsibly, because you don't want to strip out the whole patch. You want to pick from this one. I'm going to go to another one here in a bit, and that way you don't strip them out. Okay, now this one, yep, that section's dead. So unfortunately this is going to be a short cutting. Snip that part out, and I'm going to stick this part in. Even though it's small, it's still going to root and thrive. And you want to make sure your sand is good and moist, because you want them to be able to thrive. Okay, I'm going to leave this section on because to me, I can cut and root that, but I don't want to because I want it to have a better chance. I'm going to cut just above this node. And I'm going to stop it there because there's 2 really good cuttings. I should have brought my drink with me. Sorry, y'all. It's hot as can be. We went from freezing to death now to sweating. Oh, I'm not complaining one bit. Now this one, I'm going to clean up the cut just a little bit. Now, as you can see, this poor baby's had a rough life, but it's still fighting to survive. So I'm going to clip this right there, and I'm going to bury the stem from the bottom to about right there. And that'll give it plenty of room to thrive. Now this one, I'm going to clean the cut up some. Okay. Now this might straighten back out. It might not. But you know what? I'm going to give it a chance anyway. Because that baby fought to stay alive. So I'm going to make sure it still does. Break that dead out. And like I said, be careful with these stems. Because as they get towards the very tip of the plant, they get really soft. So be careful. Don't bend them. Because if you bend them, you're going to have to clip them. Alright, here we go. I'm still working on that one limb. You see how many that you can make off of one if you're careful. Now this one I'm going to sacrifice because I want roots. I'm going to sacrifice that one because it's got bug eggs on it. But that's okay. You know what? There'll be another leaf that comes from that node. So everything is going to be fine. Let's see. Sacrifice that one. I'm going to clip it right here. Whoop. Where'd he go to? There it is. And there, right there, I have two really good cuttings. And I'm going to put them down in the sand. And see, this is the fun I have on Arbor Day. Okay, that one has bugs. You definitely do not want to keep it if it has bugs. I'm going to go right above those leaves. And I have a, what I would call a squirrely cutting. But you know what? It'll still grow. Okay. I'm going to clip this off here because it has some kind of powdery stuff on it, and I don't want to take that home to my other elderberry groves. But see, you can do 2 segment cuttings as long as they're long enough. Alrighty. Oh Lordy, I got a bunch. Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna go over here, grab another branch, and I'll show you some more. Okay, I found another one where I'm gonna get good, thick, healthy cuttings from. And these are gonna be nice, tall ones. Okay, we're gonna start with this little one here. There's a leaf node there, leaf node there. And I'm gonna cut just above that. And in the sand she goes. And of course, when you put them in your sand, you want to be very careful that you don't mess these leaves up. I mean, they'll shoot more out, but you're trying not to stress the plant out too much. And you can see the bumps on this a whole lot better. Everywhere there's one of those bumps, a root is going to come out. Okay, you've got to be careful how you hold them. One is coming out on this side. And you want to make sure you got really good sharp clippers. And you want to be able to clip them, not crush them. Here's another good one right here. Snip. And in the sand it goes. This is the last one I'll be doing because I done run out of room in my buckets or my planters. See? Simple, easy. Anybody can do this. You just gotta believe in yourself and have somebody who cares to teach you correctly. And this is gonna be a little one here. But see how easy? Easy. Alright, now here's where we start doing the 2-segment cut here for this one. You gotta be careful because you don't want to cut your leaves nor smash your leaves. But you see how I cut it? You work up the branch, not down the branch, up the branch. And see, I cut it right there, and I have 2 segments to grow right there. Okay, this is a fork right here. It was a fork. This stem had died, so I cut it off. I'm gonna cut it right. See where the fork is? I'm gonna cut it right here. And that'll give me a really good one. There's 1 leaf structure, or segment, 2, 3, 4. That's 4 stems that'll come off that little cutting. And this last one, since I'm almost out of room, I'm just going to clip the dead. I'm going to clip the dead stem off the top. And I'm going to root this whole clipping. Alright, I'm going to pause it a minute, show you what I've done, and do a count. Alright, I've done my math. Whoop, my camera's going to fall off. Hold on a second. Okay, I'm having a fight with my tripod, but I wanted to show you there's 1 pot of cuttings. There's another pot of cuttings. I'm going to put them in this bag and carry them gently. But right there is 38 elderberry clippings. Now, granted, there's a couple might not make it, but they should all make it because elderberries root very easily. 38 clippings. I hope this encourages you as well to go out, make your own elderberry cuttings, and quit paying $20 and $25 a plant because that's ridiculous. They'll be ashamed of themselves. Simple, easy, anybody can do this as long as you follow this video and you believe in yourself. Everyone, take care. Enjoy. I'm enjoying Arbor Day. This video will post tomorrow, so it'll be the day after Arbor Day. But everyone, take care. Have a blessed day, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. See you soon.